Welcome to Music Appreciation. I'm using this video for online and face-to-face classes I'm teaching, and they are both early and modern music appreciation. But for the first week of activities, everything is really identical between the classes, so don't be concerned if you're looking at Music 1140 and you are in a different section. I just wanted to go over with you briefly navigating our course and, very importantly, getting your MindTap product registered. If you look over on the left-hand side here, you can see that there is a menu of choices, and one is MindTap Getting Started. That's going to be very important for us. Here's syllabus, course expectations and info. There's just a few insights in there that you should check out. Start here, that's also important, although that is a little bit of technical information. So let's just go quickly through all of these. So you can see the general welcome, which is just telling you, okay, start here. And when you click on the Start Here module, a lot is going to pop up. So a little bit about distance learning. If you're new to online learning, this is important. It would be really great for you to check out some of these resources. I am going to be clear about my expectations, but for you to be able to use Blackboard and that sort of thing, training you to use Blackboard if you're not familiar with it is really beyond the scope of what I do as your instructor, but there's a lot of information about Blackboard here, and they're pretty good about online chats and things if you have questions. Our academic honesty, dishonesty. Video is important because we want to make sure that we have academic integrity with each other. And you can see it's just a general welcome. I think I'll probably get rid of it before class opens. But I have another section for your syllabus anyway, so this will be the next thing you actually see probably. So again, if you need tutoring or help, we don't have a lot of writing in this class, so I think you'll be okay. But there are learning achievement coaches if you should ever need them. And it's also important that you use the right browser for Blackboard. And we have Adobe Reader, all kinds of interesting things. Like I said, this is very technical. And ADA statements, Americans with Disability. And then it says next steps. Now that you've completed the Getting Started module, click on Learning Modules. But when you go over to the Learning module, you're going to get directed back over here to register your MindTap product. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. This is pretty straightforward. You're going to do a quick system check to make sure that whatever technology you're interfacing with, whatever kind of computer, that everything is up to date and you have all green checks. If those don't check out, you're going to have trouble watching videos or hearing some of the media that is loaded into the class. So you're going to need to address that first. Then we have a video about Blackboard and MindTap registration. So you can watch this video and it should help you. I'm not going to, of course, rehash it right now, but this is self-training video. And then you're going to click this link to actually register MindTap. And I've already got mine registered, so it's probably not going to come up the way yours is going to look. And then the last thing, this is very important. Let's say you have a code and you have trouble registering it. It's very important that if you get your code online that you write it down in someplace important so you don't lose it. But occasionally things go wrong. So if you do have a problem, we have Cengage technical support here. I'm going to click that link real quick. This is basically a form that's going to walk you through getting help with your registration. And at the bottom of the form, I'm not going to go through it right now, you can, on the bottom left-hand corner, you can share your communications through this portal with me, which is not a bad idea. It's always a good idea for them to see that your instructor is in the loop, and it might make them a little bit more responsive to you a little bit quicker. But you may have to be patient because at the beginning of the semester they get heaps of requests. So let's just say you've gotten your MindTap registered, and we're going to learning modules. So you can see here, you're not going to see all of these things come up because this is the instructor view, but you're going to see the MindTap course link, study resources, and the concert report assignments isn't going to pop up till next week because I really don't want to overwhelm you with too much info at first. So this will be really the first learning module, week 1, the power of music. And I will always have a summary at the beginning of each chapter reminding you of the big picture for the week. And it will tell you what videos you're going to watch, a little bit about the blog you might be doing, or homework. So you can see that we have a blog for week 1, which is right here, and you will click on the Museum of Me, and I've actually already written and submitted a blog to this. I very rarely blog for you, but I decided that for week 1 I would. When you want to create a blog entry, you click here. And please refrain from attaching a file to this because you can actually put your blog into the body of the assignment, which is much better for grading, and it's easier for other people reading your blogs because we will be sharing blogs with each other and commenting on each other's blogs. So this is the blog, and every week we have a blog, which is it's every week except for test weeks and maybe one other week during the semester. So this is important. Each one is worth 25 points. There's going to be a partial score pop up when I grade your initial entry somewhere between Thursday and Sunday. The first entry, just like mine is posted here, is due Thursday at 11:59 p.m. so really midnight. And then you need to comment on at least 3 peer blogs by Sunday at midnight. And don't be concerned if you see a grade on Saturday that says you have 10 points on your blog. That just means that so far you've earned all the possible points. And I wait until Sunday at midnight and allow everybody to make their comments before I tally up those responses. So you won't have a full score until probably Monday or Tuesday of the following week. But if at that point you only see 10 points out of 25, then send me an email. But don't send me an email early on that, please. So let's go back to the learning module. So let's say that you are ready to go through and do your reading for the week and see what activities are in store in MindTap. I put everything in a folder, and the learning path is pretty detailed. Each one of these activities doesn't take a whole lot of time, but we'll start here with the power of music. And it's going to load up the ebook, and you're going to see chapter 1. And it will give you a chance. Well, let's see. Maybe we have to go find chapter 1. I don't usually do this, so let's see. I'm in the teacher mode, which is also a problem. But you can go and look at, let's see, let's go look at chapter 1. This is what should pop up for you. The Power of Music, chapter 1. So this is our textbook. And there are some nice things you can do. You can highlight things that if you'd like to edit or highlight. And you can see that the terms are underlined, and then you can quickly find out what, say, a movement is called in a piece, a large independent section, a major instrumental work. And then you'll see a little video pop up, or audio.
Audio Study Tools, Lesson 1. For Rights, Listening to Music, 5th edition. Prepared by Professor Nathan Link. Why learn to listen? Why study music appreciation?
And so forth. But everything is going to be accessed in the order in which I want you to do it. And you will not be able to skip around until you've gone through everything one time. And there are going to be listening guides, and there's going to be activities like listening exercises. So like right here, we can play the opening of Beethoven's Symphony No. 5, and the link is to a visual score of it. So when we start to listen to it, we can see a description of what's going on. This is the short, 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 long motive. And then it tells us that a motive is a short, distinctive melodic figure that stands by itself. So you'll just go through this in the order in which you find it. And then your actual exercise in here for this week is musical beginnings. And so when we get to that, I'm going to change the order of this. This is going to be at the end of the chapter. So 1.1, musical beginnings. There's more exercises due next week. Each listening exercise takes 10 or 15 minutes. These are easy points, folks. You can retake these exercises if you have trouble with them. I really don't care how many times you do the listening exercises. I just want you to interact with the material. So it's going to prompt me to do one question at a time. You can see there's 10 questions. And I'm just going to listen to the first 6 seconds and then choose an answer. So it's a very famous musical beginning. So it says Beethoven opens his Symphony No. 5 with the famous short, 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 long motive and then immediately repeats it. Does the repetition present the motive at a higher or lower pitch level? And let's say I didn't really listen carefully, and I might say it's higher, and it's actually telling me that I'm incorrect. So I could go back and say, let's see. Oh, that is lower. That is a lower sound. And then you try it again, and you get your point this time. And then you just progress through each question until you've finished all 10 questions. Always listen to the little snippet and then answer the question. It's fairly easy, and these are questions that I use later for tests often. So it's great study for tests. So every week you will have a learning path to navigate that looks similar to this. And let's just take a look here at the end of, going back to chapter 1. At the end of the chapter, we have optional beat the clock quizzes, which I didn't pull one up for you. I left mine tapped too quickly. But they're not worth any points, but it's a quick quiz and it's kind of timed, so it kind of has, maybe a little bit of a video game feel, but not much probably. The quicker you answer the questions, the more points you get. But again, this is not for actual credit, but it does test you a little bit on new terms. And you've probably noticed this, but once you've interacted with a new bit of information or knowledge in your classes, if you touch on it in 4 or 5 different ways and different times, then that bit of information becomes working knowledge in your mind that you can access quickly, that you can connect at a deeper level for higher learning insights. So I really recommend the Beat the Clock quizzes at the end of each chapter, even though they're not worth any points. Also, for every chapter, I've prepared a YouTube presentation of the material, and it's a YouTube video.
All right,
that
let's take a look at
you can see now we're starting in here, and this kind of gives you a weekly chance to actually hear the lecture. Maybe you're somebody who can't stand lectures in class. I'm really excited about music appreciation, and I try to make my lectures more interesting perhaps than some you might have heard. And I also try to put in some interesting information that's maybe kind of a bonus beyond what you get in the actual textbook. So I highly recommend you do the weekly video. Again, this is interacting with the material a different way, and it will help you. Different learning modalities help everyone. So this is week 1. This is what it looks like. And I'm going to just point out to you that you have announcements over here and messages. So make sure that you check in with those. Sometimes I have students email me through messages, but they don't read my responses. So you have to go through and check those. I will always, when I make an announcement, ping you with an email of the announcement, but then it will be posted on Blackboard for you to go back and look at later. And this is a great way to find out about upcoming concerts and things. There is going to be an interesting concert this week that the New Mexico Philharmonic is doing, and it's going to feature the music of U2. So it's in the pops category, and it might be a little early for us to be doing concert attendance for credit, but I just thought I would throw that out there. Probably the tickets are going very quickly for that. I'll talk more about concerts in week 2. So good luck, and be prepared to put some time in every week on this class. Frequency is more important than binge work. I don't want you to sit down on Thursday and do everything for the entire week. I would rather that you spread out the work maybe over 2 or 3 days. Some people have to do their work in even tinier segments depending on their schedules. But if you need any advice, I'm available by email, and also I have an office on the west side that I am at on Mondays and Wednesdays, and I could meet up with you in main campus if you're in the metro area and you ever need to meet with me. Good luck and have a terrific semester.